Second.
I asked you to make a couple changes.
Welcome to Queen Anne's County Board of Education for Wednesday, July the 19th. Call to order. Pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pursuant to the general provisions, Article 3-305 and 3-104, the Board of Education, Queen Anne's County met in closed session to protect the privacy or reputation of individuals concerning a matter not related to public business.
Thank you. Everybody's had a chance to look at the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve?
Can I have a motion to approve June 21st closed session and open session, July 12th closed session?
No, we got to approve the agenda first.
Oh, sorry. Motion to approve the agenda.
Have a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we have minutes in front of us for June the 21st and 22nd, both closed and open. Has everybody had a chance to review them?
Yes.
Yes.
Have a motion? To approve? Second?
Motion. Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, we also have our minutes for July 12th and closed and open session. Everybody's had a chance to review them?
Yes.
Yes. Could I?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Okay, moving on to informational items. Spotlight presentation.
Oh, we're gonna skip the spotlight.
We're gonna skip that? Okay. We're gonna take that off?
We're gonna go with,
You're good. Okay, the master
3.01.
facility plan,
Yes.
3.02.
Which one are we doing?
We're doing 3.01.
Hey, we've taken off the spotlight representation.
Yeah. 3.01.
Okay,
The
just making
facilities
sure.
plan
Mm-hmm.
with Daryl.
Good?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Good afternoon, board members and Superintendent Salins. I am Daryl Barraclough, Facility Planner for Queen Anne's County Public Schools. I am here this afternoon to present to you the 2023 Educational Facilities Master Plan for Queen Anne's County Public School. The Educational Facilities Master Plan, commonly referred to as the EFMP, is a long-range planning document that is produced annually by QACPS staff. The EFMP reflects the operating procedures of Queen Anne's County Public Schools, a complete facility inventory evaluation, current and projected enrollment data, and working collaboratively with Queen Anne's County Planning and Zoning, an in-depth analysis of the planning and community development throughout all of Queen Anne's County. The EFMP is the basis upon which future facility planning decisions are made. In other words, the Educational Facilities Master Plan is the roadmap upon which the Capital Improvement Program is based. COMO requires each LEA to annually produce an updated Educational Facilities Master Plan that has gone before the local board and obtained approval. Typically, this document would have come before you sooner than today, but with my just joining QACPS in June, the document got a very late start. The document was due to be submitted to the state before July 1st. Given the circumstances of when I arrived, we were successful in obtaining an extension to the deadline to August 1st. The EFMP is a two-step process in the development of our future project funding. The EFMP will lay the foundation for our CIP that will be presented in the coming months. Several different documents make up the EFMP. The following slide shows a brief overview of the contents, most of which are the requirements for the EFMP in place by the IAC. This slide shows the date lines that are associated with the EFMP and the Capital Improvement Program. A few updates that I would like to bring to your attention regarding the draft copy that each of you were provided for review. On page 3, the document shows a draft copy of the letter that will be forwarded of the approved EFMP to the state. Once the board approval is secured, dates will be inserted where applicable, and the document will be signed by the superintendent. Number 2, since the production of the draft copy of the EFMP, the non-discrimination statement on page 5 has been signed by the superintendent and President Schiffinelli. So a fully signed copy will be part of the final EFMP. Lastly, page 146 of the document will be replaced with a copy of the review and approval letter from Queen Anne's County Department of Planning and Zoning, which was received shortly after the draft copy was prepared and assembled for board docs. Lastly, that wraps up the presentation for the draft copy of the Educational Facilities Master Plan for 2023. Any questions? Any questions?
I don't have any questions, updates. I guess one of the major things that, and we've been through this at our meetings, is that the 9th grade is now moving into Kent Island High School.
Correct.
All on one campus. So to me, it's a long document with a lot of little numbers that move around and stuff like that. But when I think one of the major things that will be changing this year is Mattapique 9th grade in the middle school will now go to the high school complex. And we've made arrangements for all that,
Correct.
which I think is
And that is captured in the document.
It is, right,
Yep.
but I mean, of all the things, of 148 pages, that's to me the one that I think the average citizen and people in our community will want to see, you know, and that's a change for us.
Correct. That is probably the largest change in the document.
And I just want to say thank you, because I know it's a lot of work to get this together, and you were on a really tight timeline. I appreciate the waiver and appreciate your effort with it, so thank you.
It's a tight timeline when you were here for a year.
Yeah.
Much less here
Much
for a few
less,
weeks.
yeah.
We appreciate that. Any other questions by the board?
Nope.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Page, 640-1.
Board members, Dr. Salem, executive team, for the record, my name is Michael Page, and I am bringing forward the Regulation 640.1, Student Nutrition, Health and Wellness. The purpose of this is to present the recommended updates to Regulation 640.1, Student Nutrition, Health and Wellness. A little bit of background: local school systems are required to write a document that guides local educational agencies or school districts' efforts to establish a school environment that promotes school health, well-being, and their ability to learn. This was updated based upon some of the new initiatives that are going forward. And if you all have any questions in regards to that, I can answer them for you. What I do want to note is that this document is created through multiple departments. So curriculum and instruction has a piece of this, food services has a piece of this, nurses and student services. So if there is a question that I can't answer for you, I will make sure to get those to them.
Anybody have any questions regarding this informational item?
The only question I had was under the health education, number 3, under family life and the human sexuality education. If
Yes.
someone in the public is viewing this online, how do they know like what the curriculum will be?
So they would know in multiple ways. So when a child is enrolled in a health course that's going to receive that, so that's grades 5, grade 7, and high school health, those parents before that class or before that unit is started, they receive a parent letter home. So they'll receive a parent letter home, and then with that they have the information that is being taught within those lessons, and then we also provide them with the option to opt out of that specific content.
Okay.
And then within that, they also get a letter that states if you'd like to view any of the materials to contact the schools and or me.
Okay, thank you.
And I think that's very important. It is an opt-out. And we're starting this in 5th, which is required by state law. And we're putting it at the higher end of our system, of our grade levels, not earlier.
Correct. So we do start the family life and human sexuality in 5th grade.
Any other questions? No. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Page.
Dr. Kibler.
Good evening, board members, Dr. Salins, and executive team, Dr. Matthew Kibler, Director of Accountability and Implementation. I'm here tonight to present to you a draft of our safe return plan. You might remember we've been doing this for 2 years now. This was a requirement when for all school systems when we received ESSER funds to put a document together for how we were going to have a safe return to in-person instruction as the COVID pandemic was going on. When this first came out in the fall of 21, obviously there was a lot in there to go by. We haven't really made any changes in the last year and a half on this document because we're basically, for all intents and purposes, back to normal. The reason we are still doing this is, again, it was a requirement with ESSER money. We are entering into the last year of the ESSER money. This will be the last plan that we have to submit for this document. There are no changes from when I brought this. We had to do this every 6 months. There are really no major changes to this document since the February version you saw. A lot of just dates. And it's due August 1st. This doesn't require a vote, but we wanted to make you all aware of it here and as well as the public in case anybody would like to provide feedback.
And this will be the last one you have to do.
Correct. That was like, so we get these weekly transmittals from the state superintendent, and we were supposed to have to do this for another year. This was the first time I was excited to see in the transmittal something that said this would be the last one.
Nice.
So you have something else to do with your free time.
Yeah.
I'm sure that we will
Dr.
find
Salins
something
might
for
find
me to
something
do.
to do. Any questions by the board?
Nope.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move into action items. We just had an update on the educational facility master plan. Do I have any? Okay, go with it.
Good afternoon again. I'm Darryl Barraclough, Facility Planner. I come before you this afternoon seeking approval of the 2023 Educational Facilities Master Plan. Any questions?
Board member? Okay, do I have a motion?
Can I motion to, approve the 2023 Educational Facilities Master Plan?
Second?
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We got it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Page again.
Hello again. So this action item is the elementary K-5 HMH Science Dimensions interactive text and the consumables. So the purpose of this is to approve the contract between Queen Anne's County Public Schools, Houghton Mifflin Harcourt Publishing Company to purchase HMH Science Dimensions grades grades K-5 interactive work text and consumables. This has been a contract that we've been working with them since 2017. The physical impact of this purchase is $56,636.91. It was budgeted for in this year. This is through curriculum and instruction, and the account number is provided. The action is that the superintendent recommends the board approves the contract between Queen Anne's County Public Schools and Houghton Mifflin Harcourt HMH Publishing Company to purchase the HMH Science Dimensions interactive work text consumables for grades K-5 in the amount of $56,636.91.
This is in our current budget.
Yes, sir. This is for FY24.
Any questions by the board?
The only question I had is, why is Churchill Elementary only got 4 units and then the price is only 108? Why are they so low compared to all the other schools?
So is that for the consumable portion of it? And so Churchill Elementary had extras of the text, I believe. So what ended up happening is they didn't have to purchase the specific interactive text this year.
Okay.
They had those already.
Little bit of a savings.
Excuse me?
A little bit of a savings.
Little bit of a savings, that's right. And then the consumables is based upon the usage at the specific site.
Okay,
So they may need more for grade 1 at this school than they would for another one.
all right.
It is school-based.
Any further questions? Entertain a motion?
I have a motion to approve the contract with Hoot and Mifflin Harcourt Publishing Company to purchase HMH Science Dimensions Interactive Work Text and Consumables for grades K through 5. Fiscal impact, $56,636.91. Budget source, curriculum and instruction.
Second?
Motion second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Passes. Ayes have it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Page.
Thank you.
Mr. Kentop.
Good evening, board members. Dr. Salen, executive team. I'm here to present a contract for approval with Edmentum, who is the organization that does our blended virtual program. As you know, we're a part of ESMEC, and ESMEC contracts the Eastern Shore counties with Edmentum to provide a blended virtual program. This year, each county is paying directly to Edmentum rather than going through ESMEC. So we have approved this year 23 applications for students. We have received one for free from Edmentum. Each one of those has a cost of $6,250 for a total budget impact of $137,500. It is Category 3 contracted services, and it was budgeted for.
Is that about the same numbers we had last year, roughly?
We're actually a few less, but yeah, it's right around the same numbers.
Our cost factor per student did not go up this year, correct?
It went down. It went down. There was a negotiation with Edmentum because of some issues that went on last year. In order to keep our services, they brokered a deal with ESMEC. It's actually cheaper this year.
Do we need to ask what the issues were?
What's that?
Do we need to ask?
Scheduling issues for classes?
It was like technical issues and
Process.
ability to get answers to questions quickly and things of that nature.
Those are all acceptable answers?
Yes. Oh, they were fixed
Right.
last year, but in an effort to maintain our program, they wanted us to, they worked out a deal with ESMEC.
And you feel it's doing a good job with our students and stuff like that?
Yes, we had an 80, what did I say, 87% success rate this year with credits earned and passing with middle school. It was very high.
Nice.
And are these the same hours as a normal school day, or do they do different?
They have a minimal hourly requirement, but it's because of the way that it's designed. It is designed to be flexible, so they have required time to be online live with their teachers, and then the additional time is on their own. So they have Monday through Sunday to complete it. There's a minimal amount that they have to log in, and we put in for attendance in our Power School program.
And those guidelines are set by the state of Maryland. So every school district across Maryland
Has to
has to
follow
have a
it.
minimum.
Correct.
Minimum face-to-face time, meaning screen time face-to-face, because it is a completely virtual, in that aspect.
What do we do if they don't have, I mean, they all have to have Wi-Fi?
Yes.
So
We provide assistance.
We provide that.
As part of the application process, they let us know what they have and what they
And
need,
they'll
and
have-
we take
okay.
care of that before it even starts.
And what do you guys do if you have a student who opts to do this but then doesn't show up for class?
We usually fill their seat mid-semester, in the semester end. Depends on where they are in the semester. If we can fill it right away, we do. If they'll credit us back our monies if we don't use it. So it depends. There's different cutoffs during the semester between how long they've had the class or haven't had the class, but they've been very good about that.
Yeah,
with
and
giving us-
we haven't had a student that hasn't shown up. We've had students that may not have worked as well as they could have in the program, but honestly, we do a very stringent job of going through the
Selection.
applications and making sure that the right students are in the program that this is going to be good for.
So we make sure it's a good fit for
Right,
everybody.
we want to make sure it's the best educational program for them.
Nice.
Okay, any further questions?
No.
Entertain a motion?
Make a motion to approve the Edmonton contract for the blended virtual program, fiscal impact $137,500.
Have a motion, to have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Quintal.
Dr. Kibler.
Acta.
Good evening again. Tonight, bring to you proposed revised calendar due to the Maryland State Legislature late in their session, moving the primary election day for the spring of 2024 to May 14th. The law says that we need to be closed for both general and primary election days. So what we're proposing here is to close schools and offices on May 14th. Not extending the school year because we have already broadcast what the proposed end date would be. And of the 3 embedded snow days we had in the calendar, we would just go down to 2. And we'd also have the 2 inclement weather contingency days on the holidays as well.
So if the inclement weather happens prior to those holidays, we'll pull it.
We could. So it's Martin Luther King Day in January, which is a tough one to do just because we don't get a lot of early snow necessarily, and then
thinking.
President's Day as well.
Because once, February, March, you can have something come up and then all of a sudden we don't have any options at that point.
Correct.
So the bottom line is, we're gonna have schools closed the 14th. That's the only change of this calendar. The other will be inside the school system to find out to make sure we meet our minimum of 180 days.
We will. So if you actually counted in this revision, if you counted student days, you'd actually count 182.
Okay.
Because we'll have the 2 embedded in
Right.
there. So it's likely if we had another year like this year, we would be coming to you late next spring and saying we want to adjust the end of school back 2 days.
2 days.
But we didn't want to do that change, any change
No.
at the end of school right now.
I think it's a good option.
And this is affecting the entire state. They did it so late, everybody approves calendars in January and February, so everybody, well, all districts except for the 6 that are in the law that do not have to close for general and primary elections had to make this same change.
But I know we've talked to our election board, and it's a state issue across, we're not the only county that they utilize schools.
Correct.
It's a problem, not a an issue.
It is a problem. It is a
It's a problem,
concern.
but it's,
Yeah. Yeah.
we've tried to look at that, but it's
Yeah.
just,
And what I didn't realize until this was coming back up, that it's actually part of the law what districts can be closed. So if we would ever even get the Board of Elections to agree to it, we would have to go have the law changed too.
It's true, right, yeah.
any other questions?
Nope.
Enter a motion to adjust the calendar to have May the 14th as a holiday or a day off for election.
Make a motion to approve the revised 2023-2024 school year calendar.
Second.
Motion second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Mr. Pender.
Good evening, board members, superintendent, executive team. For the record, my name's Sid Pender, Chief Operating Officer. I'm here before you tonight to seek approval of a project at Mattapique Elementary School, resurfacing the playground. This is a pass-through grant funding that will be funded entirely by the state. There is no local match associated with this. We are seeking approval of the contract between Game Time Cunningham Recreation and Queen Anne's County Public Schools to provide the labor, equipment, and materials necessary to tear off and replace the existing poured-in-place pre-K playground surface at Mattapique Elementary School. We are utilizing the Omnia Cooperative Purchasing Agreement. What we currently have there is a poured-in rubber place, or surface, sorry. And over the years, it's just wear and tear on it, and we've repaired it many times. This is the rubber tile that will go in there so that if something happens to it, we can remove a section of it without having to remove the whole entire surface. This grant actually comes along at a great time because we are also seeking pre-K accreditation at many of our schools, and without that, we probably will not receive the accreditation. The amount of the project is $73,229, and again, that is funded through the pass-through grant, and we also have documentation they require for the county administrator to sign off, giving their approval also.
That's something we've done this summer.
We're going to, yep.
This summer?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
We got our,
Okay, any other questions? Any motion?
motion to approve the contract with Game Time Care of Cunningham Recreation to replace the playground surface at Mattapique Elementary School. Fiscal impact $73,229. Budget source QACOS SB 291 pass-through grant funding.
Second.
Have a motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you. Okay. Now we're on to the buses.
Yes, sir. Before you tonight to seek approval for Miss Virginia Brown of the Northern County Exchange LLC to purchase a new used bus for the 24-25 school year to replace bus 3310 as it goes out of service on August 24th, 2024. And we are talking not this year, but the following school year, that bus will be put in service. They would not receive the PVA until that following year to associate it with that bus. But with the delay in production, you know, we've took us 10 months to get one of our own buses. So they are seeking approval for that. We also do go through our budget and line up which ones are going to be retired after the mandatory 15 years. So this bus will be at its 15th year, and we do have that earmarked on our documents.
So this is really gonna affect 25, not
Yeah.
this year's budget, but the following year's budget.
That's
But
correct.
You got it. And we roll about the same amount of buses not every year, but,
Yes.
I mean, what do we have, like 70, 80 contract buses?
72, I believe it is.
Any other questions?
Nope.
No.
Enter motion?
I make a motion to approve Virginia Brown of Northern County Exchange LLC to purchase a new or used bus to replace number 3310. Fiscal impact PVA budget source FY 25.
Second.
A motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Thank you. The next item is again with Northern County Exchange, approval for Nancy Coleman, the Northern County Exchange LLC to purchase a new or used bus for the 24-25 school year to replace bus 8610 as it goes out of service on August 24th, 2024. Again, the bus just before this, PVA would not go into effect until the following school year. But again, it's meant its 15-year use of life.
Any questions by the board?
Nope.
Entertain a motion?
Make a motion to approve Nancy Coleman of Northern County Exchange LLC to purchase a new or used bus to replace number 8610. Fiscal impact PVA budget source FY 25.
Second.
A motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Thank you. And the last one I have before you tonight is for LNS Bus Service. Approval for Lawrence Chenault of LNS Bus Service Incorporated to purchase a new/used bus for the 23-24 school year to replace bus 10309 as it goes out of service this upcoming August. The likelihood of that is probably a used bus. But just so you know, whatever the year the bus is the year that the PVA is associated with it. So it's not the PVA that, you know, we currently have.
So we just go back to the PVA of 18 or 17,
Yep.
whatever year the bus
Yep.
is.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions?
No.
Any motion?
Can I make a motion to approve Lawrence Chenault of LNS Bus Service Incorporated to purchase a new or used bus to replace number 10309. Fiscal impact PVA budget source FY 25.
Second.
A motion second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Ayes have it.
Thank you.
That's the end of our informational things. Our future meetings will be, August the 2nd will be our regular school board meeting at 6 o'clock. And we will also have August 16th, a work session at 5 o'clock. I have any information from the board?
No.
Entertain a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion.
To a second.
All those in favor say aye. Thank you.
Aye.